Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news. Now folks, if you've been paying attention to the NFL offseason, you know how crucial it is for teams to make bold moves, especially in the quarterback position. And no team is feeling that more than the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. After a season that, let's be honest, had its ups and downs, the Steelers decided to shake things up in a big way. They completely revamped their quarterback room, and this is a move that has a lot of fans talking, a lot of analysts buzzing, and a lot of hope reignited in the Steel City. See, just a few months ago, it looked like the Steelers might be sticking with what they had, maybe looking for some veteran stability or developing their younger guys. But instead, they went all in on a major shakeup, bringing in Aaron Rodgers, one of the most talented and experienced quarterbacks in the league, to lead their offense starting in 2025. Yes, Aaron Rodgers, the four-time MVP, the guy who's been a perennial threat for almost 2 decades, is now a Pittsburgh Steeler. That's a game changer. And with Rodgers at the helm, the expectations in Pittsburgh skyrocket. But what really catches your attention is how they've structured the depth chart behind him. Mason Rudolph, who's been around the team for a few years, and a promising young gun, Will Howard, who's still unproven but has shown flashes of potential in college and in limited NFL appearances, will serve as his backups. Rodgers, of course, will start the upcoming season with Rudolph and Howard providing support and competition. This is a solid foundation, especially considering Pittsburgh's history of developing quarterbacks and maintaining a strong offensive line to protect their signal callers. However, the NFL is a league that never stands still, and the Steelers are no different. There's a lot of speculation about whether they might add another quarterback to this mix, and one name that's been floated around a lot lately is Tyler Huntley. According to some reports, notably from SportsGrid's Grant White, Pittsburgh could be looking to sign Huntley in free agency. Now, Huntley isn't a household name yet, but he's a guy who's been around the league, primarily as a backup, but with some starting experience that shouldn't be overlooked. Huntley spent most of his career with the Baltimore Ravens, where he got a decent shot to start a handful of games from 2020 through 2023. During his time in Baltimore, Huntley flashed some of that dual-threat ability that makes him intriguing. He's a mobile quarterback, capable of extending plays with his legs, and has shown the ability to make plays downfield. His style of play is reminiscent of some of the dual-threat quarterbacks that have made a big impact in recent years, like Jalen Hurts or even a younger Lamar Jackson, though Huntley isn't quite at that level yet. Still, his athleticism and ability to improvise could give the Steelers a valuable option in the quarterback room. In the 2024 season, Huntley spent time with the Miami Dolphins, where he started 5 games, finishing with a 2-3 record. He threw for 3 touchdowns and 3 picks, with a completion percentage of 64.7%. Not eye-popping numbers, but enough to suggest he can be a competent backup, especially when you consider his ability to make plays with his legs and his experience in different offensive schemes. The Steelers, always looking for value and depth, could see Huntley as a low-cost addition, someone who could push Rudolph or even serve as a reliable emergency option if injuries occur during the season. Now, let's pause here for just a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. So, considering the current landscape, Pittsburgh seems pretty comfortable with their quarterback situation. Rodgers is the clear starter, a proven leader and playmaker. Rudolph is a seasoned backup, familiar with the system, and Howard is the future, a young player with upside. The addition of Huntley, if it happens, would be more about adding a little extra competition and insurance. It's a smart move, especially if Rudolph struggles in training camp or if injury bugs start to bite. But let's be honest, right now, the Steelers don't see the need to rush into that signing unless the circumstances demand it. Looking at the bigger picture, the Steelers have been building their team with a focus on strong defense, a consistent running game, and now, with Rodgers, a high-powered passing attack. T.J. Watt, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, is still anchoring their defense, and his recent contract extension, reportedly around $200 million, has sent a clear message. Pittsburgh is committed to contending now and in the future. Watt's presence on the field is a game-changer, and his leadership on defense elevates the entire unit. Offensively, the addition of Rodgers should open up a lot of possibilities. Pittsburgh has a solid core of skill position players, including their emerging star receivers and a reliable offensive line. The key will be how well the offense adapts to Rodgers' style. He's a guy who thrives in quick, precise passing schemes, but he also has the ability to extend plays and make those unbelievable throws downfield. Coach Mike Tomlin's offense has always been adaptable, and with Rodgers leading, expect a more dynamic, explosive attack. Another factor to consider is the draft. Pittsburgh is known for being savvy in the draft room, and they'll likely be looking to add some offensive weapons or defensive stalwarts to complement their existing roster. But everyone's eyes are on the quarterback room now, especially with such a significant upgrade at the top. The question is, will they add more competition behind Rodgers? Or will they stick with what they have and evaluate during training camp? That's where the story gets even more interesting. Now, let's delve into some of the historical context. The Steelers have a storied quarterback history, from Terry Bradshaw to Ben Roethlisberger, who held down the position for nearly 2 decades. There's a tradition of stability and excellence at that position, and bringing in Rodgers is almost like a passing of the torch in a way. Rodgers, with his championship pedigree and leadership skills, could be the guy to elevate the Steelers back to Super Bowl contention, especially considering their strong defense and running game. But it's not just about the quarterback. The AFC North is stacked with talented teams: Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals, and Cleveland Browns, all vying for supremacy. The Ravens, for example, have a solid defense and a dynamic offense with Lamar Jackson, but their quarterback situation has been uncertain at times. Cincinnati, with Joe Burrow, has become a perennial contender, and Cleveland, with their new offensive weapons and a stout defense, are always in the mix. The Steelers' move to bring in Rodgers could be the shift that propels them ahead of the pack, but they'll need to execute perfectly. And let's not forget about the Steelers' recent draft picks and roster development. They've invested in their offensive line, bolstered their secondary, and have a young core of talented players ready to step up. Their coaching staff, led by Mike Tomlin, is known for maximizing their talent and keeping the team competitive year after year. The addition of Rodgers, along with strategic acquisitions like Huntley or other depth pieces, gives them a lot of flexibility and options moving forward. Of course, this offseason isn't just about adding players. It's about setting the tone for the upcoming season. The Steelers' front office has clearly signaled that they're in win-now mode, especially with a veteran like Rodgers leading the charge. Their goal is to return to the playoffs, contend for another Super Bowl, and restore their place in the elite tier of NFL teams. The challenge now is to mesh the veteran leadership with their existing core, develop the young players, and stay healthy. And speaking of health, that's always a key factor. The NFL season is grueling, and injuries can derail even the best plans. But with Rodgers' experience and leadership, coupled with a strong supporting cast, the Steelers are in a better position than many to weather the storm. Their coaching staff's track record of developing players and managing injuries is well known, and that will be crucial as they push toward the postseason. Now, looking ahead, the NFL draft and training camp will be pivotal. Pittsburgh will be watching closely to see how their new quarterback room gels, how the roster shapes up, and what additional moves they might make. Fans are buzzing with anticipation. Could the Steelers make a splash in free agency or via trade? Could a surprise pick emerge from the draft? The possibilities are endless, and that's what makes this offseason so exciting for Steelers fans. And to wrap up, the big picture is clear. Pittsburgh is making a bold statement. They're not just trying to compete, they're aiming to dominate. With Aaron Rodgers now donning the black and gold, they have a chance to revive that legendary franchise quarterback legacy to add another chapter to their storied history. And if everything falls into place, healthy players, smart moves, a bit of luck, they could very well be back in the Super Bowl conversation sooner than we think. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this quarterback overhaul? Are you excited about Rodgers leading the team? Do you think Huntley or others might step in and surprise us? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news.